There we go. Welcome to the Plodcast.
The Plodcast.
The Plodcast with Derek and Chad. How you doing, Derek?
I'm doing okay, Chad. How about you?
You hanging in there?
What's
No,
that
there's still some
tasty?
left. You can give them to the rabbits or whatever.
Yeah, I got some lettuce. All my fallen lettuce for my.
Hi, everybody, this is my girlfriend. She's got wonderful timing.
Welcome to the Plodcast.
Welcome to the Plodcast. So, what's been up with you? Did you watch the Thunderbolts?
I did. I did.
You did? Well, I'll
Yeah.
get your before we get into it. Let's start with I'll tell you what, real quick, I'm gonna run over what you tell me if this sounds good. I think we should do Thunderbolts. We can talk about Marvel's future, and then we can go into all the news bullshit. Does that sound good?
That sounds good.
All right. We'll start with Thunderbolts. I want to start without me putting out all my thoughts. I'll go ahead and let you give your raw thoughts of the movie. Basically, just give me your review.
I enjoyed the characters. I thought they worked well together. Not my favorite Marvel movie, but
There.
all in all, it was okay. I mean, it was better than Captain America 4.
Okay. See, I didn't hate either of these newest movies. I mean, I will say that they weren't, I agree, neither one of them. And while we're just sitting on Thunderbolts, Thunderbolts isn't the greatest Marvel movie, but I enjoyed the fact that they were like they threw together the team dynamic and made it work. Like
Yeah.
it didn't feel as thrown together as a lot of people want to say it. Like I feel like, with the exception of like in the story itself, with the exception of like Red Guardian being like popping in and coming and picking them up.
Yeah.
That was a little bit kind of on the nose,
Or
but to be honest, I didn't mind it. I really like his character, so I was happy to see him. And then everything else in the movie, in my opinion, worked really well. I like the way they did the Sentry slash Void kind of thing, where it's not two separate people that, at least not yet. I think maybe they move into that later, but like right now,
yeah.
it's all kind of, the Void is all in its head.
Yeah.
Also,
It's just
I
a
don't
multiple
know.
personality.
Yeah, I don't know, and if anybody's ever talked about it, but they call that the Void, and then there's the Void,
Yeah.
like from Loki and shit.
Loki.
And so I didn't know if there was going to be like any kind of crossover there, or if they might try to do some kind of crossover. Because I thought it'd be funny. Like Marvel's MCU wise, they're pretty good about when they revamp some shit. They would be like, okay, let's make this separate. We're not going to call it the Void. We're going to call it the Darkness or something.
Yeah.
And instead of doing,
Sometimes it's
they
confusing.
literally just kept it as the Void.
Yeah.
And it could
I
be
think it,
overlooking it, and also maybe they're just trying to be more comic accurate because that's what he was called in the comics.
yeah. I think it is a little confusing because you are going to another realm, basically.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
it's like the void is another reality.
yeah, and I do think that there's something deeper there that they may actually kind of flesh out when they go further with the Sentry character. Because I don't think that I know that the Thunderbolts bombed like real hard, but
Yeah.
I don't think they're at this point in the game. I don't think they're going to be doing any like revamping and taking back anything they're putting into this.
Yeah. Wasn't that Bill Pullman's son?
That is Bill Pullman's son. It is. In fact, he's going to be in Spaceballs too
Oh, boy.
with Bill Pullman.
Nice.
Yeah, they I know you saw the stuff about Spaceballs too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've already got Rick Moranis, Bill Pullman, his son, obviously, and then apparently, um, uh, what's the old girl's name? Uh, Damn it! I'm hitting a mind blank right this second. Uh, what was Jordan Peele's other movie? The newer one with the UFO thing. Nope, that's what it was. Kiki Palmer. She's going to be in it too. Which I'm not mad at that. She'll be a new cast member that'll be fun to throw in there. Also, um, she'll give validation to any racial jokes that he makes.
Right.
So,
Mel Brooks is going to be in
which
it
I
too if
think
he lives long enough.
that's kind of smart. You know, knowing Mel Brooks back in the day, you know, he wasn't scared to make those jokes, and he's still not going to be.
Yeah.
But
He's going to be
anyway,
in it
back
if
to
he lives long enough.
do what?
He's going to be in it if he lives long enough.
Yeah, I know, and he'll be like 101.
Yeah, I know. Anyway,
But
back to Thunderbolts.
yeah, back to the Thunderbolts. It's I also thought it was the whole like new Avengers reveal.
Yeah.
I think that like there's a little part of me that they're testing something in the waters, and this actually ties into the future of the MCU talk here in a little bit. Actually, I think they might be testing the waters with the whole fake out,
What
like
do you mean?
like having the title of a movie, like you know they did Thunderbolts and they put an asterisk the whole time,
Yeah.
and then at the end of the movie we all see that it's the new Avengers, right?
Yeah.
And so that you know they even did some reveals where if you looked on social media where they were tearing the bottom of the poster off and it was saying the new Avengers instead of Thunderbolts. So
Yeah.
now when it comes out on like digital, if they wanted to, they could just be like, "This is the new Avengers" and just rename the movie. You know.
Yeah. I agree. That could be a testing of the water to see how people respond to it.
Anyway, that being said, that ties into my whole thing because like I was watching all these like theories about what they're doing and what they might be doing with Doomsday and the future of the MCU. And
Yeah.
one of them that really intrigued me was basically tying Tony Stark to the Doom character in another universe, which obviously is kind of going to be something they're going to do because obviously because you know Robert Downey Jr. But also like there's this whole thing where they Screen Rant I think it was put out not too long ago where they kind of like started with the Ultron story of how Ultron wanted basically all you know turned on Tony, and he kept
Yeah.
talking about how Tony was you know a problem and a poison and all this kind of shit, and there was just a lot of like deep language there, and I think that without obviously it wasn't in the film then and it wasn't in the writing then, but the way this kind of theory pans out is that Ultron saw so far into Tony's future that he even saw that in another universe, Tony would turn into Doom, basically.
Yeah. That's
And
a pretty good theory.
the idea is that what happened is instead of Tony dying at the snap, he was badly injured,
You there?
but he lived. Yeah, can you hear me?
You blacked out? Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. But anyway, Tony, instead of dying in Endgame, Tony survived, but he was you know heavily injured and probably disfigured, like he was towards the end of the film there.
Yeah.
So that if he survived and then went on and like you know a different kind of situation there, that could lead to him being you know Doctor Doom.
I figure he just got a bad haircut and he wanted to hide it, so that's why he wears the mask.
That's fair. But there's you know like that whole like extension of Doctor Doom and theory and all that. Also, I think that this is this is my own thing. This comes from nobody else. There's a chance in my head. Remember whenever I said that they were bringing back RDJ as Doom, just to be like, oh, he's on the set, so now Tony can show up and nobody would know when, you know?
Yeah.
Well, what if it's all a fucking ploy? Like, what if it's like, what if we go to see Doomsday? Like, what if this happens, right? Doom shows up in a few scenes like Thanos for the next couple of movies, right?
Yeah.
And then when Doomsday comes, it's revealed at some point during the film that Tony shows up, right?
Yeah.
And Tony shows up as Tony, Iron Man, blah, blah, blah. You know, whatever, another universe Iron Man or whatever the reason. And then they revealed, Dr. Doom reveals his face and it's not even fucking him. It's not Robert Downey Jr. It's somebody totally different.
That would be a troll and a half.
Yeah. What?
Don't forget to take off her collar when she let her out. When you let her back.
Oh, okay, so it's not Revenant.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, that would be a troll. Not only would that be a troll and a half, but like, think, you know, in thoughts of how we, you know, the fake out of the Thunderbolts worked out or not worked out, I guess. If they're testing waters with that, you know, maybe it could be you know, they could be seeing how people react whenever you turn the coin on them or kind of troll them like that.
Subvert their expectations.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't know if they did that, I don't know how mad I could be. Like, especially with like how many people are like when they announced it, I was like, that's odd, but okay, I'm down. Let's see what happens. You know, I wasn't mad at them bringing back Robert Downey Jr. Whereas there's in my D&D group and some other friends that are old school like comic nerds, everybody thinks it's a ploy to get back all the audience and all that. And I'm like, well, yeah, but also it's Robert Downey Jr. Like, how mad can you be about, like, in my opinion, probably the, you know, most influential actor since the MCU started to return.
Yeah.
I don't see how you can be mad about that, you know, but it's also one of those things that's like people are just heavy in the superhero fatigue, and so they have their reasons, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope Fantastic Four does well.
Yeah, me too. There's a couple of theories going around about a council of reeds and all kinds of crazy shit that could happen. I think it's too soon to do that because we haven't even seen the MCU read technically, except in trailers, you know. Now, having an alternate Fantastic Four pop into that Fantastic Four story would be interesting, but I also think that story is going to be heavily grounded with them until it leads into the MCU, which obviously you've seen the Thunderbolts when that ship pops in.
Yeah.
Well, I think, and I've pointed this out, that's a different ship. Now, it could be as easy as that ship the 3-prong ship gets destroyed, and then they make a 4-prong ship, or maybe Reed had a backup, and that's how they escape, or whatever. It could be as easy as that, or maybe like Doom fucking stole their other ship, or maybe, you know, like it's a whole other Fantastic Four, you know, like there's all kinds of like, yeah, it could be anything, but there's a lot of like, one of the first things I noticed when I saw that was like, hey, there's 4 prongs on that ship. I was like, if I'm not mistaken, there was 3 on the one in the trailer, and then I went back and looked at it, and I was like, yep. And I've only seen a few people point that out. I think Eric Voss brought it up on
New
Rockstars like a few weeks back, and it was the first time I saw somebody other than myself mention it. I was like, nice.
You're not crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I am, but I'm not like hallucinating.
You're not the only one.
Yeah. There you go. I might be a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
Only one, right? There is no heaven.
But yeah, man, all that shit. I might be one of those people that, you know, I'm just predispositioned to want to enjoy my shit. So yeah, instead of like most people painting the corners and trying to ruin it for themselves, I'm trying to paint the corners to fucking enjoy the fucking movies, you know? Like,
No, let's tap into your hatred. Let it flow through you. Hate everything.
calm down, Palpatine.
Unlimited power. Dope.
But but yeah, it's wild. There's a lot of I think there's just gonna be some fun stuff coming. There's I'm I again, it's like my own personal Truman Show shit because it wasn't like 2 or 3 months ago that I was like, dude, now all this stuff is blown by with you know,
Hank.
Kang and Jonathan Majors. Like, be cool if they brought him back towards the end of this phase just for at least, a team up with Doom and then it becomes a big, deal. And I was like,
Girlfriend.
and then I've been seeing actual articles. It's like, hey, they're thinking about bringing Jonathan Majors back, and I'm like, yes.
As long as there's one scene where he slaps his girlfriend.
Well, even Christopher Dombrowski, I brought it up to him because he's in my D&D group, and he was like, "Well, I'm fine with that as long as they bring Megan Good in because she's awesome, because that's like his new girlfriend."
Uh,
She actually is really good in everything she's ever done, and she never blew up as an actress. She's just always kind of been like she started off as like a video, like, a chick that was in like music videos for a lot. And then she got a few acting jobs and she never blew up.
we should blow her up.
But I'm trying to remember what anything she was in that I could mention. That
Sarah Jane.
Curse of Sarah Jane. Your
Yeah.
movie? She was in that?
Yes. Yeah, if you stop it 33 minutes in during one of the static flashes, it kind of looks like her.
All right, fair enough.
So I'm giving her an IDBM credit.
Oh, she was in The Love Guru. She played
That's what happened to her.
right. She was in The Love Guru and she played the guy or the chick that the main hockey player, black dude that was in love with, and that was
I never
his ex
saw
or
it.
whatever. Oh, you never saw it?
No.
I'm sorry. I think it's a
I
good
don't.
movie. I can't
I
believe you
don't
can sit here and
fully.
shit on it and you've never saw it.
Yeah. I've heard the stories.
Yeah, well, they're all wrong. I love that movie.
Okay, Prometheus boy. I think
Yeah,
you're out
well,
of touch.
yeah, well, this coming from the guy who said which would be the biggest movie, Crush Groove or E.T. Time to tell on that one, motherfucker. Oh, I just went to the movies to watch that.
E.T.?
No, Dogma.
Oh. You saw that in the theater?
Yeah,
It's
we
already
just
re-released?
yeah, they re-released it. It's in the theaters right now.
Oh, wow. About
Um,
time.
yeah, you didn't see all the news about that. Like, Kevin Smith came out a couple months back and said, "Oh yeah, we finally like." Basically, the long short of it is that uh,
He got the rights
Weinstein
back from
Weinstein
Weinstein.
broke. Yeah, well, Weinstein broke contact with them. The last thing they'd said was, "Yeah, we need to do something." And then some after Weinstein got arrested, somebody offered him the rights to that film for like 5 million or 10 million or something like that, something that he couldn't afford. And
Uh,
so he was like, "No, I wish I could, but I can't afford that." And so then more time went by, and he needed more money while he was in jail. So he eventually sold like a shitload of them to movies to like a group. And one of the chicks who was on the board for that group was friends with Kevin Smith, so basically, he Long and Hall got access to it enough to re-release it.
Mm.
He does
And that's
own it.
short
But
version.
do what?
And this is the short version.
That is the short version.
Oh wow! I'll wait for the Lord of the Rings extended edition of this story.
The with special DVD content.
Commentary from Harvey Weinstein in prison.
It's like, yeah.
Oh,
While they were filming this scene, I was in the back touching my secretary.
wow, creepy old guy.
But yeah, man. So yeah, it was pretty interesting to go watch Dogma in theaters again, and like surprisingly look around and see like a handful of boomers loving it. Like,
Wow,
like I expected like it to be a young and like my age crowd, and most of my age was sitting with me. Everybody else was like boomers and then like my a little bit leveled of me, Gen X, but I didn't expect to see like the grandma and the grandpa sitting around laughing at all the Jesus jokes.
right? Is that what all the protests were for this weekend?
No.
I remember
That
the
was
protests when it was first released.
yeah, I would love to tell you that all the protests recently had anything to do with Dogma, but no. All the protests were very different. They had to do with ICE deporting people for no reason, and
And this is what we call a transition into politics.
peace. Oh yeah, this is the transition into the world of news. Man. So also with all that, if I told you that, hey, there's this country that they've had three domestic military, uh, um, I don't know, what do you call it, send outs, I guess. Like, would be the first country you think of be America?
Right.
And like, and kudos to Trump for making a parade nobody went to, and that
Right. And squeaky tanks.
yeah, squeaky tanks, and like, taking us back in time to Tiananmen Square, like.
Right.
Except in Tiananmen Square, what was funny is at Tiananmen Square, the protesters and the parade were in the same place.
Right.
But man, yeah, politics is wild right now.
So we're going to war
well, apparently we're going to war with Iran. See, like when Iran got involved, I was almost sure that we would be like, oh yeah, those were our buddies from, remember when we were hanging out with them and we were fighting Iraq? Yeah, we were buddies. Nope, not anymore. Now we're
not anymore.
now we're
All
now
because
we're
of Israel.
which, by the way, I'm trying to work a bit on this, but tell me if this makes sense to you. Like, how everybody's been comparing Trump to Hitler since he's been,
Yeah.
and it's just like, man, he would really have to break their hearts if he sided with the Jews.
Right.
There's no way we can call him Hitler anymore.
Yeah. This whole Israel thing's a mess.
Yeah. The other bit that I came up with about that was that because I finally watched Oppenheimer. I had never seen it since it came out. No lie.
Oh wow.
And I watched the important parts, which is the parts where they showed Florence Pugh's titty.
Nudity.
Yeah.
Right.
But I watched the entire film. Very good movie. And then all this shit happened with Iran bombing. Or first technically Israel bombed Iran. And it
Yeah,
was supposedly a nuclear site, or a site
yeah.
where they were working on a nuclear weapon. And so
Didn't they use American rockets?
was it Israel that used American rockets? I thought it
I
was
think
Iran
so.
that had. I thought it was Iran that had American stuff, but
It
maybe you're
might have
right.
been.
I mean, they probably both do. We're Stark Industries with this whole thing, but
We're supplying the war. What was your bit?
anyway, I just thought it would be funny to say that Israel might have noticed that the viewership of Oppenheimer went up in Iran, and it's pretty much like an instruction manual.
How to
So
build a nuclear bomb. I have
yeah,
become death, becomes her.
and so they were like, "Oh, they're definitely working on a nuclear weapon. Let's bomb them."
Yeah. Let's bomb the nuclear site and see what happens.
Yeah, but yeah, it's gonna be fucking wild, especially now because like everybody's up in arms about what the fuck we're supposed to do or if we're even supposed to get involved. And of course, Trump's running his mouth, and so it's like, oh man,
Trump.
this like I said this to Rich earlier today, actually, when we were talking about it in a text. I was like, yeah, man, all this shit, Trump's talking all this shit, and it's gonna blow up in our face. Quite literally, maybe.
Yeah.
but but it's crazy. I mean, it all what also the other thing, one of the military like one of the military rollouts they did was in San Antonio,
Really?
and yeah, and I think, and this is, I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat for you.
Okay. Don't microwave your head.
Yeah, I think that there might actually be that was all more towards the protests about the killing of the voice of Redcorn from King of the Hill, because I don't know if you saw about all that, but
Yeah, I saw that.
like it happened, and then all the stuff in California happened, and then the guy's husband came out and told the real story, and then that's when everybody got up in arms, and then all of a sudden there was suddenly military being called out for protests that were supposedly about the deportation and ICE stuff, and so and all that on the coattails of Elon and Trump breaking up, and Elon being like, "Oh, by the way, he's in the Epstein files," and we were all like, "Yeah, we know." Like, we know, like, we're aware. Oh, you mean the guy who used to go backstage to his own pageants and be all weird to the fucking pageant chicks, whether they were underage or not? You mean that guy went to Epstein's Island? No way.
Trump fans won't turn on him.
Do what?
Said Trump fans won't turn on him.
Oh no, they don't. I mean, like, there's a lot of, but there's a lot of people with buyer's remorse about Trump. Like, if they weren't MAGA heads, then they're turning their back on him now.
I call them maggots.
Yeah, maggots. Yeah, I thought about that. We should spell it with two G's.
Yes, just like Jesus.
Well, I was thinking more like a certain other word,
Oh, MAGA.
like
My MAGA.
like MAGA sexuals,
Nice.
But MAGA sexual.
MAGA tard.
That's when you only get turned on when you're watching Fox News.
The MAGA tards.
Oh, but yeah, dude, it's so much fucking crazy shit. I've been watching a lot of this fucking social comment guy. He's a gamer and streamer, but like he's heavily leaned into politics now. and does he like shows up and debates people, and like he's fucking awesome. His name's Destiny. He goes by Destiny. What'd you say, sir? You broke up.
I haven't heard of him.
Oh, well, if you ever just want to check out this guy, I've seen him debate everyone from Ben
Shapiro
to I saw him on one of those, those 20 versus 1 things where the guys hop up and keep debating stuff.
Jubilee.
Yeah. He was on one of those where he was in the center. And Andrew Wilson, I think his name is a guy that's on that Whatever podcast. And he's like this heavy MAGA head who is always on there shitting on, he's always on the Whatever podcast calling fucking OnlyFans chicks whores and shit. And
wow.
Like he's super right wing, and I've been trying to figure out a way to, because I don't like him. I hate his fucking views on everything, and he's always fully argumentative to the point that he'll make the argument look like he won it, even though at the end they're not even talking about what was brought up.
Yeah.
Well, then I started watching Destiny and how he breaks down shit, especially when he breaks down shit with Andrew, because he actually, has some videos where Andrew's shitting on somebody or talking some shit, and he just breaks it down. And like, man, I wish I had the knowledge and like ability that this guy has, because he's on top of his game every time. He's never I never find him, even though he's like liberal, I never find him like bullshitting his way through anything to win. He's always just trying to like get to the truth of it and get to the meat of whatever it is, And it's actually very cool. Like, and watching him break down Andrew Wilson has made me realize what Andrew Wilson does. He's basically like it's not really, it's just yeah. Sorry, you keep breaking up, buddy. I think you got a bad connection because you keep going in and out.
No, that's just my sex approach.
Oh. But anyway, point in case,
I'll check out some Destiny
and watch him. And also, I don't like him, but check out Andrew Wilson. You'll see what I'm talking about. He's a weird kind of prick, man. Always kind of like I said, he'll always misdirect the argument into something that he knows he can win.
Sounds like Christopher Hitchens.
Yeah, but Christopher Hitchens, at least like Christopher Hitchens was there to like, he did what those hitch slaps,
Yeah.
But they were genuine, like
Agreed.
he was coming from his truth of it, Whereas Andrew Wilson does the version of a hitch slap or a got you moment where it's like he misdirected you into an argument he can win, Yeah. And it's totally different. It's in fact, I learned this using this from watching Destiny. He doesn't have a genuine conversation with anyone. Like, it's not the word is a good faith conversation.
Yeah.
Like if we're talking and we might misdirect and joke around, but to be honest, we're both talking about what we think.
Yeah.
Whereas if I was trying to like lead you down some path that you didn't know much about, or something that I wanted to aha you on, and then I get there and do it, that's disingenuous in my opinion.
Yeah. Just trying to have genuine conversations.
Yeah. But he's human, and also he's found his way to make money that way. So I can't really like hate him for it. I just don't like the guy. I don't think I would agree with him on much. Now, as for Destiny, I'm pretty sure that like if somebody would be like, "Hey, debate Destiny on something," I'd be like, "On what?" Like every time I see him talk, I'm like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
He's the worst debater ever.
Yeah, Me and Destiny debating would be like Destiny goes off on something, and I'd be like, "Yeah, that checks out," and then he would go off on something else, and I'd be like, "Yeah, that checks out too." You know?
Worst debate ever.
Yeah, more like it would be more like a masturbate than a debate.
A master debater.
But but yeah, I guess in closing of all that, Destiny is a master debater.
And should be viewed by everybody who listens to this podcast. Both of you.
And we're not, just for the record, we're not getting paid from Marvel,
You're
Marvel
not?
or Marvel, and we're not getting paid from Andrew Wilson or Destiny or anybody, but we will take their money if they want to send us some.
Yeah. We're easily negotiated with.
Yeah. It's like I always said, I will be true to my like thoughts on everything until somebody pays me enough money to think differently.
Right? With enough money, it's just like $5 at this point.
Right? I mean, I don't know if I'd like side with if I'd switch sides and turn myself into a fake MAGA head over, more than you'd have to give me at least $100,000,
$100.
something to get me through the next year.
I'll go MAGA.
You'll go MAGA for what?
For anything. Just a like on this podcast, I'll go MAGA. So what else is happening?
Not a lot. I mean, personally in life, I've just been, still writing what I can on jokes and then working on the red tape when I can. But I try not to, you know me, I'm trying to be naturally in that mood. So it has been a little slow since I got the treatment finished.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to let fresh ideas come in, and then when they're there, I want to write on them. And
instead of forcing them out.
Yeah. And I don't want, like, I use ChatGTP for certain things and for formatting and for trying to brainstorm. I won't lie, but I'm not going to let it write my dialogue. I'm not going to let it write my script, I'll let it format my script, but I ain't going to let it write it.
It's going to steal your ideas.
It's going to steal them all?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just to be fair, if a Netflix series called The Red Tape comes out anytime soon, it's fucking mine. I did it.
You're going to sue them with, I'll be your lawyer.
Yeah. I'll get an AI lawyer.
Fine. I didn't want to do it anyway.
You can be my witness on the stand. You were here whenever I, was building.
I'll be like, I hold you in contempt, Judge.
Oh, actually, speaking of, I need to tell you about this game that I think you would appreciate. Like, first of all, it's not a traditional video game to a certain extent. It's an improv game that brings in the video game sense. Okay, so here's the deal. It's called, and you'll like this a lot because I know you like sock puppets, Derek.
Can you see the shirt I'm wearing?
Do what?
Can you see the shirt I'm wearing?
No, but I just know you like it. What are you wearing?
A sock puppet t-shirt.
Oh. But anyway, so the name of the game is Guilty as Sock.
Wow.
And basically what they do is it brings up, you can have anywhere from 3 to like, I think it's 6, 7, 8, 9, like 10, maybe 9 or 10 people play the game, right? And you have to have at least 3 because you need a judge, a plaintiff, or not a plaintiff, a judge, a defense attorney, and then a prosecutor.
Yeah.
And so when the game starts, the prosecutor basically makes up the name of the person and whatever their crime is. And then from there, they give you a bunch of random evidence, which I saw at the beginning of the game. You can go and create custom evidence. But like, they just give you a bunch of random evidence, and you have to improv your way through a court session and literally prove innocence or defense with just coming off the top of your head bullshit. And
Nice.
then at the end, whoever the judge is literally just picks somebody who they think wins. Or not say pick somebody, I should say, is he guilty or not,
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, we've had the first time we played it, there was a guy in the group who we tried to be friends with him forever. He pops in and basically every time he shows up to play a game with us, he just does. It seems like he gets too drunk. We thought maybe it was him getting drunk all the time, but I just think he has like a troll personality. He just constantly wants to throw a wrench into everything.
Yeah.
So for the first couple of games, he was there and he was ruining it. And then like at some point when he was going off the deep end, one of us voted to kick him out of the game, and we all like voted him out, and then we all kicked him out of the server, and we went and played by ourselves.
Wow.
Well,
Bullies.
just to be clear, it was like the
Just to be
12th
clear.
time. Yeah, just to be clear. Just to be clear, he did this like a dozen times, and as our friend already in other games and other situations. So we were just kind of tired of it and done with it.
Wow.
And I'll give him credit. Other than that, like I met him in
Gatekeeping,
real life, and I read him in real life at Houston at one of the open mics I went to. He was super nice to me in person, but he's always like anytime we would get in a game, he was always just like the fucking the guy who stirs shit up, and makes shit fucked up and stupid, kind of on purpose.
The ruiner.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, once we got him out of the game, we actually had a really good time.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. Which I think it was only like $5.50, but I was broke, so my buddy got it for me. But if you ever want to get it for your computer and join us on a game, it would be fun.
Yeah, I might look into that.
It's not a hard game to run, so even if your computer's not great, I wouldn't think that it will be, a problem.
Don't be talking shit on my computer.
Do what?
Don't be talking shit on my computer.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you have a potato or not.
Really? A potato?
Yeah, you never heard that term?
No. I mean, Mr. Potato Head,
Yeah.
which is, I think an inappropriate description of retards. Oh, you can't say that either. Never mind.
Well, just to be clear, you're not off. You're not completely off, but a potato is just like an old, slow computer.
Nah.
Yeah.
I thought they were French fries.
Like whenever we would have, when I first started playing games with my buddies again on the computer, when I moved from PS4 to my computer, before I got this one, I had quite the potato.
Wow. Mine can run circles around yours.
Well, is that only because it's being drugged by a dog?
Yeah. Sometimes the dog gets a hold of it. Definitely runs circles around me, and it's not good for the mouse.
You should get computers that don't run circles at all.
Yeah.
Because my computer rarely moves. The only circle it's making is the fans that's blowing up cold air.
Is it cold air, or is it just blowing room temperature air?
I mean, look, you want to get technical, it's probably kind of warm, but
Yeah. You got a heated object with a fan on it, so it's just blowing hot air.
Right. Uh-huh. But what else? You got anything else for us today?
Not today.
Well, cool, man. I got this shit on record. I'm going to start posting it on my comedy page.
Okay.
I'll come up with a name for our new podcast.
Plodcast?
If you have any, what did I say earlier? Plodcast? Plodcast. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck that means, but that's what we'll call it. That's what we'll at least call this episode.
Yeah.
Plodcast.
Maybe our name changes each episode.
Yeah, right. Wasn't that the deal last time? Every time we were just like, "Hey, the new name is blah blah blah."
Yeah. Hard to
Well,
market.
well, anyway, I got this shit recorded. I will download it. This one will actually be posted. How you like them apples?
I like them apples.
Applesauce, bitch.
Cool, man. I'll talk to you later.